Hi, in this video I talk to Ash Zuberi, the creator of the HMO Group, and I ask him what advice he has for people considering investing in HMOs and more, coming up. Now, your Facebook group has got almost 10,000 members, and before we talk about that, can I just ask you, how did you get involved with property investing and specifically into HMOs?
Well, the first thing I did was I obviously got into a mentorship. I had a property of my own that I invested in. I was always into property. It was like a hobby, I tried various things and ended up with one property in Kingston upon Thames, and then I went off on holiday basically and worked abroad. Then came back after a couple of years, realised there was a lot of equity in it, and a friend of mine said, well, do you know what to do with all of that? And I was a bit lost. I thought I knew what I was going to do, and he suggested I go to a property show, and at that show I met Steve Bolton, who you know, and if you don't, look it up.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, he was, before he was PPP, he was Property Know-How, and he was a mentoring service then. And he offered me a lifetime, mentorship, which I never forget. And he's made me the person I am today. So that was it. And it was, and in a nutshell, education, research, and getting a good, solid mentorship. That's what started the journey.
Do you know how many members on your Facebook group are currently investors in HMOs, or how many are members of the group to get information to buy their first investment?
That's a very good question. There's a lot of people out there saying that they know what their Facebook groups are doing, and they have all these amazing figures, and they throw them out saying, our group has this and it can do this and it can do that, where there's no analytics on the back of Facebook that allows you to do that. If, however, some of the admins are able to have the time to look at what your members are doing and where they're coming from and what they're talking about, then you can sort of say in an overall sense that this is what's going on. Right. What I've noticed in the 4 years that I've been running the group with the help of the admins is that we can see that there are a lot of, out of the percentages, there are a lot of new investors or people that are just starting out because of the type of questions, that we see. We also see a lot of percentage of foreign investors that are sitting in Australia and America who are just wanting to nose and see what we're up to. And then you have the local hardcore, brokers and builders, plumbers, merchants. So that's the variant of what we have in there. But I will say that the majority are newcomers that are coming in to learn and find out whether HMOs is the strategy for them.
Are you ready for the quick fire round?
I'm ready for the quick fire round.
PC or Mac?
Mac. Once you go Mac, you never go back. Take it or leave it.
Text or talk?
Talk.
Would you rather have unlimited first-class travel around the world, or be able to eat in restaurants and never pay for food again?
Oh. Unlimited travel.
Yeah, that's what I'd go for, I think. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
I need to submit a friend request to you then.
You should.
Call of Duty?
Call of Duty. More FIFA at the moment, but...
Yawn. What's your favourite place in the world?
Thailand.
Thailand?
Thailand.
How often did you go there?
I've only been there once,
oh, right.
But it was a life-changing experience, and I'd go back, definitely.
Okay. I've not been, and I do want to go to Thailand.
Go and do the island hop, it's amazing.
So for someone who's considering investing in an HMO, what's the one piece of advice that you'd give them before they make that decision?
Research. Research is such a broad term, I can say that and people think, I just got to read a book, or I need to look up this and look up that. But research, it also involves trying to find out whether you fit inside of that strategy, whether you can be able to deal with all the complex systems and attitudes of tenants, and really find out if it works for you. And so, it's all about researching all those different avenues, looking at yourself, seeing if you can deal with that many tenancies, Do you have the capital to invest in certain areas? Can you travel that far? You know, these are all the things that come under the band of research, and that's the best thing. And then finding a mentor. You know, I was just speaking to somebody. There's a lot of people out here with, you know, that are training people on HMO courses and stuff like that. And, you know, I think that is good, but there's also other avenues around there, and that people should start delving into those and looking at social media, looking at the internet, reading books, and looking at the other things that are not giving you all the big sparks out there.
Yeah, I mean, it does take a lot more time compared to a single let, and it's whether that person feels that they are up to putting that time in.
Absolutely.
And dealing with all the problems that running an HMO can cause.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excellent. Well, Ash, thanks ever so much
Anytime,
for taking time out.
Anytime.
Really appreciate it.
Anytime.
And all the best.
Thank you.
Andy Walker,
Ash,
testing.
Ash. Yo.
Hi, in this video I talked to Ash Zuberi.
This is going to be funny. How many takes are we going to do? Am I going to be here all day?
A lot.
Okay.
We've got 30 seconds.
You'll have
Yeah.
10,000 subs by the end of it.